Hey everybody, it's Alan from Woodcrest Bonsai. And today, while we're being serenaded by the ice cream truck, I'm going to work on these two Parrot's Beak. The one on the right is the very first Parrot's Beak I ever bought. So it's the mother of all the rest. And I took a bunch of cuttings from it and they rooted so easily that I took another bunch of cuttings and they rooted, and the next thing I know I have about 100. But as you can see, they're both overgrown. I restyled these guys this spring, and I will leave you the videos at the end of this one so that you can click on that link if you want to watch. This very first one was a totally different tree, and I decided to make it more open and more airy. As John Naka so famously said, create your branches so there's space for the birds to fly through. So it was a fairly dense tree. It was nice. I liked it. But I wanted to open it up more. And the second one has, well, we'll talk about the second one when we get there. So I'm going to put the phone onto the tripod, put it on pause, and then we'll get started on the first one. The ice cream man's getting closer and closer. Of course, that could be somebody's version of hell, having to listen to that song for eternity. You remember the creamsicles or the dreamsicles? They were kind of like orange sherbet with vanilla ice cream inside. God, I loved those, but I don't think they even make those anymore. Okay, so back to the tree. So this is the front. This is also in a Sarah Rayner pot. Possibly my favorite Sarah Rayner pot of all time. I mean, if we zoom in, just the detail on this thing is just absolutely amazing. She is an incredible potter. And, you know, I bought this pot in 1998. So I think she still does make some pots, but her production is nowhere near what it used to be. And, of course, neither is mine. Well, no, then again, I'm into bonsai more than ever. Once I retired, I quit growing vegetables and started growing bonsai exclusively. So if we look at this tree, we see that there's a lot of incidental growth that has all popped since I cut off one of the main branches. This scar right here, I cut that branch off. So we don't need any of that. So that's all coming off. And since Melina liked to sucker, I will be, I don't want to say fighting, but I will be addressing these kinds of pops. You know, basically adventitious buds. For the rest of the life of the tree. So when I want my tree to have a certain silhouette, so I can cut off just about anything that's not within that silhouette. Without really worrying about what I'm doing with it. Oh, he's getting closer and closer! He's going to be coming down my street in about 30 seconds. Stop! Run! Get ice cream! Those were the days, eh? Long gone. Okay, so this is my first main branch, and I want it to be fairly triangular. Here he comes, right in front of my house. Thankfully, when he stops, he turns off that music. Okay. So there's the first main branch. We've got a lot of stuff in here that is coming off of a very small branch that I decided to keep. Also got some stuff shooting straight up, and Melina is like that. Remember, Melina is spelled with a G. It's a silent G, named after some botanist from the 1800s. And I may not even keep this. If we take that away, it may not be entirely necessary for the form. Then we have our second main branch that I want to trim even more. And I do have some wire on this tree, and it looks like it may be cutting into the bark a little bit. Right there. So my philosophy on wiring is if you see it cutting into the bark, and when you take it off, the branch hasn't really held, it's far better to take it off. So let's see. Oh, just minor, but I'm already 90% done with taking it off. And I think the branch has set in place pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now I just want it to fill out this way. And perhaps get a little longer too. And the second main branch also has some wire. So let's check that out. Oh no, he's coming back around. Of course, I said he's going to go right down the other side of my street. So look at this branch here, just whoosh all the way across. And that's just how they grow. Parrot's beak do present a dilemma because they develop quickly, but they take a lot of work to keep them in bounds. So do I see any cutting into the bark? Perhaps a little bit right there. And this wire actually, is he coming back in front of me? I'm not getting ice cream. Too busy. Actually, I already have ice cream in my house, which is why I use ice cream containers to grow my pre-bonsai. Come on. You know, I may take the wire off camera because I can't reach it. Need to pull the tree closer to me, and at this point, the tree's in perfect position, so. For you to see, so I'm not going to mess with it. Okay, now what do we have here? We have another piece of growth right here that I want to cut off. Anything that's really shooting way up gets removed. Anything that's shooting straight down also gets removed entirely. Things that are shooting straight up get shortened. Here's another something that's shooting straight up, except it's the wire. So we'll just move him out of the way. So then we have another very nice little branch right here. I'm going to cut the apex, cut this stuff off here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And you notice how it looks pretty good, and then we have this weird thing right here. See how visually that just looks dumb? That's just one leaf. Take that one leaf off and poof. Totally changes the whole thing. I want to take off some of the leaves that are around the trunk to accentuate the trunk. So yes, it's coming along very nicely. And I just want it to get much longer out here. And probably taller too. If we do the rule of thirds, this is 1/3, this is 2/3. This tree should be considerably taller. But that'll happen over time. So even with a finished tree like this, especially something like a Malina, you can cut it back and let it regrow, cut it back and let it regrow. And even if you're only leaving another 1/2 inch or an inch of new growth, eventually the tree will get to that point that you want. So this tree's coming along very nicely. I'm very happy with it. I love the hollow trunk, and it's hollow all the way through. And that was part of the reason that I bought it. And there's an old trunk chop. God, where is it now? I guess it's in here. Oh, yes. I don't even see it anymore. Because the top of this tree was just an absolute horrible mess. But I saw the movement. I saw the potential. So I've regrown the whole top. So when you're looking for trees, if you go to like a bonsai convention or a bonsai show or where vendors have trees, I don't even bother with the top. What do the roots look like? What does the trunk look like? How's the movement? Is it the kind of tree that I think I can take, I took off the whole top of this tree and started over basically. And then the restyling that I did that I will show you on the video that you can click at the end of this video was another restyling. So I really think it's looking pretty good. So let's get guy number 2. So this second tree is also quite old. And it's only got one piece of wire. And that is on this branch right here. And I really want this branch to fill in more here, to come out more. And it hasn't grown at all. The tree took all of its energy to basically the back. If we turn it like this, all the new growth is, except for the apex, is all in the back. But if I continually take off the excess growth, then eventually we'll get something right there. This is another tree that has pretty nice branching, pretty decent space in between the branches. Instead of making the apex go out this way, I gave it a little bit of a jog, a chicane if you were a car racer. Oh no, where's the ice cream man? He left. Oh no, I'm sad. Okay. And then the apex. I think I'm going to cut the apex to about right there. There's another little tuft of growth right here, and my eyeballs are saying, maybe bring it up so the apex is more in here instead of making it a completely slanting trunk. So he stays. And then either wire or cutting. I want this guy to be flatter. So at this point, since I didn't bring my wire and I really didn't plan on wiring, just cut him away. For some reason, this tree has not popped out along the trunk the way the other one did. Of course, the other one got a much more severe restyling too. So the tree is probably like, whoa, wait a minute. So yeah, I really like this tree. I think it's going to be one of my nicest Parrot Beak that I have. And one thing I really, really want is for this branch to be out here, create more of a canopy. So Parrot Beak are very tropical, and they grow like a vine. I'm not sure if they're classified as a vine like bougainvillea. Bougainvillea is literally classified as a vine. But they do present that paradox. They develop quickly, but they also... Oh, I guess I have a sacrifice branch. I didn't even notice. I'm not sure if it even needs a sacrifice branch. Actually, it had a sacrifice branch, and that is... Yep, that is new growth from where I cut the sacrifice branch off. You can see right there, that's a pretty heavy-duty scar. That was a pretty thick branch. That very definitely added to the thickness of the trunk. So I guess I can leave him on there for now. You know, neither of these trees are going into a show anytime soon. But I'm happy with both of them. And that's really the essence of it, isn't it? As I close, I'm going to keep taking the wire off the other tree. And now I'm closer to it. So and there's a learning curve with everything. You know, I grow a lot of tropicals mainly because I can. And I don't grow a lot of northern trees because it's absolutely I cannot. So things like beech and birch and larch and hemlock and most pines and so many northern trees that other people have. Japanese maples won't grow this far south. In fact, there's only one maple that grows this far south. So there's a lot of things that I like about being this far south on the planet. But I have some envy too when I see other people that have their northern trees. I said, boy, I would love to have a Japanese maple in my collection, but it's just not possible. Unless I had way more money in like an extra refrigerator that I could keep lit. Some kind of nonsense like that. So there we go. Can we get them both in the frame? Come on, guys. Pose. Say cheese. Say ice cream. Parrot's Beak Bonsai. Fantastic bonsai material if you live far enough south, or you can give them winter protection. And you have the time, because they take a lot of work. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. This is a very rare afternoon video because there's no wind. Oh my God! I can't believe how windy it's been this year. Just ridiculous. Just every day. Day after day after day after day. So if you haven't subscribed already and you'd like to see these guys continue to develop, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and leave a comment. And that's it for this video. So thank you so much for watching Woodcrest Bonsai.